Okay, so we're lengthening between the, on that left side, focusing primarily between rib cage and hips. Now you can think of it between, so you've got your rib cage and your hips, and that part of your spine is kind of protected by those two cages. And then there's that section of spine that has nothing around it but soft tissue. And that's where we're really trying to pull the bones apart in the middle. And then the same on the right side. Left side again. You can even lift your leg a little bit and walk it down. And right side. Oh, and Lisa, I got Owen that series of books you suggested. I'm so excited. His birthday's tomorrow, or Monday. My sister thought he'd really like them. And we'll do both sides, reaching both arms and both legs. Let stretch in your tummy too. And we'll bring your arms all the way around to the sides, and we can bend your knees. And then just find your neutral pelvis so you don't feel overly arched. And we'll draw the shoulders back down to natural so they're not hiked up around your ears. And we'll focus on our breath here. Feel where the rib cage is touching the mat behind you so that when you breathe in through your nose side to side, you feel it go out toward your arms as well as into the mat. Big full breath, stretching the ribs, and exhaling, blowing out slowly through your lips. And inhale through your nose. And exhale. Start to involve your abdominals on purpose, a little bit more intentionally, a little bit more deeper in that contraction. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. And then we'll grab your ring and we're going to put that between your legs, just above the knees. Okay. And just note where your spine currently is in its natural state. So that space under your back, with me, it's not very much at all, but you can just be aware of where yours is so that it will stay that way. And then as we continue to breathe, we're going to add in the pelvic muscles, using those muscles to squeeze the ring. We're going to try not to use your legs right at this part. So inhale through your nose, feeling that expansion in the rib cage. And as you exhale, contracting the muscles inside the rib cage, the abdominals, and a real deep contracted pelvic squeeze against the ring. And in through your nose. And exhale. And see if you can imagine in your mind's eye what that looks like too. Sort of all your muscles drawing in around the spine. And it's very long and perfectly curved position. We'll just do about 3 more like that. Remember, if you have any questions, you can push your space bar and that will unmute you. Then we're going to float your arms up, keeping your pelvis in this position. You can peek at it if you want to, but you can also feel that it's neutral. It's going to stay that way. Excuse me. As we exhale and curl up, floating your arms down toward the floor. So in this position, you're looking at your pelvis. Inhale to bring the arms around as you lay down. Exhale up and over and around. And as the arms come around and up, your shoulders stay away from your ears. We're just circling that upper arm bone in your shoulder socket, but the shoulders are not hiking up. they're staying stabilized. So you keep feeling the tip of the shoulder blades on the floor. Even though we're curling, your pelvis is not tipping up. It's nice and stable. It's so strong. And then we're going to reverse that on this next one. So we'll bring the arms out to the side and then really scoop right here. Bring the arms up as you lay back and we scoop up and back and scoop and back and scoop and back and scoop and back. Again, notice your tailbone is not moving. It's not curling up. Just the upper body is. And scoop. And scoop. We'll do 3 more. And 2. And on this last one, we're going to curl up and we'll bring your hands behind your head and exhale to lift the legs. And inhale, lower to tap the floor. Exhale, lift. So again, that pelvis is flat. We're not rolling it. We're just contracting, tap, contract, and tap. Still gazing at the pelvis. And tap. And tap. Hinging at the hips. And squeeze. And squeeze. Good. Lift a little higher. Bring those shoulder blades up off the floor, and we'll do 3 more. And last one. And down. Okay, so we're going to take your ring, and you can keep one knee bent, and we're just going to stretch the hamstrings for a second. Gently, you can soften and lengthen. We'll do both. Waking them up a little bit, getting them used to being up here. You've really noticed with all this floor work how different my 2 sides really are, especially when it comes to flexibility. I guess I always knew that, but I had conveniently forgotten it there for a while. Put them both up in. Tailbone down, lengthening through the heels. So we think about drawing the tailbone down on purpose, even as you're lengthening through the heels. So it feels a little bit, you feel the muscle stretch, but almost also like a nerve stretch, a neural sensation. We'll do 2 more. Okay. We're going to do that same series with the ring in your ankles. So bring that down. Okay, still in neutral spine. Arms can start down at your sides, and we'll bring the legs up. If that gets to be too much on your back, just go right back to tabletop. Okay, and we'll bring the arms up, and we'll exhale and curl, and bring the arms around. Exhale up and over, and around, and up and over, and around, up and over, and around. We're squeezing the ring with your pelvic muscles. and around and over. Bring that upper body nice and high and around and over and over. One more and over. And we're going to reverse that, so we'll scoop up and around and scoop and around and scoop and around and scoop and scoop and scoop and scoop and scoop. Do two more and scoop. And on this one, we're going to scoop and hold it. Bring your hands behind your head. And we'll lower and lift. And lift. And again, keeping the tailbone down. So we're just hinging. Continuing to look towards your pelvis. Keeping the upper body lifted. We'll do four more. 3, 2, and 1. We'll bend your knees, bring your feet down to the floor. Okay. And then we're going to put the ring back in your knees. Let a brain freeze for a second. Okay, so then we're going to actually use the legs a little bit more, giving your abdominals a little bit of a break. We're going to take a breath in, feet a little bit closer to your glutes, and we'll exhale, and we're really going to squeeze the ring quite a bit. So we are still using pelvic muscles, but adductors as well. Exhale and squeeze, release, and squeeze, release, and squeeze, release, and squeeze, release, and squeeze, and squeeze, and squeeze, and squeeze. And we'll do two more. And squeeze, and we'll go right into, we're going to lift into a bridge, and then squeeze, release, and down, and lift, and squeeze, release, and down, squeeze. Really focus on squeezing on the glutes more than anything else. Squeeze, and down, squeeze, release, and down, and lift, squeeze, release. Two more, lift, and squeeze, and down, lift. This time hold, and we're going to just squeeze deeper for 10. 1, 2, trying to squeeze with your bottom more than the legs. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep squeezing with your bottom. Lower and lift the hips just a little. Lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and down. Okay, then we'll extend the legs out, and we'll hold your ring, and we're going to roll on up one vertebrae at a time. And I'm just going to grab my little extra pads here for my butt. We're going to do some roll-ups. If you like to use an ab pad for those, you sure can. Don't have to though. Okay, and then we're going to sit with your elbow or your knees just out in a long diamond. Maybe if I switch this way. Because I forget to stay in the frame. Okay. We're gonna sit really, really tall. And we're just thinking about what your spine looks like in its natural curve in this position. And we'll take your ring and we'll hold it out in front of you and slightly higher so you can see right through it. Shoulders gliding down toward your hips. And we'll take a breath in, feeling your ribcage expand. And as you exhale, feel your ribcage funneling down. Feel all those muscles contracting around your spine. And imagine as that funneling down is happening, like it's anchoring you down toward the floor, that's allowing your spine to just lift straight up toward the ceiling, like there's a string trying to pull your spine right up out of your body at the same time. So it's that oppositional contraction. And that's with each exhale. Inhale to feel the expansion, and then exhale. You'll get taller in the spine, even as the shoulder blades pull down. Pelvic muscles squeeze too. And exhale, squeeze. Every time we do that, all those core stability muscles are engaged. Then we're going to add on to that, on your inhales, we're going to pull your belly button back, tucking the tailbone. And as you exhale, we're going to stack back up into that contraction, long spine, squeeze. Inhale, tuck back. Shoulders are down. Exhale, down, and squeeze. And tuck. And exhale, up. Feel that squeeze down at the base of the shoulder blades. And in your lats, right in here. Two more. One more. And up. Good. And we'll put the ring to the side. Arms are forward. You can stretch out your legs. And as we roll down, as if out of a roll down, we're going to bring the arms up and back. So as we go into our next roll up, we're going to do a full circle. So we're going to scoop as we roll up and over, past the toes, long stretch. And as you roll back, we drop the shoulders. So we're doing a full circle. And that added weight from the arms is a little more challenging as well. Tuck the chin and we roll and reach. And the arms come all the way. We're dropping the shoulders. Arms are coming all the way around for that full around the world circle. And we scoop up with our roll up. And stretch up. Full body involved. Walking me right along the floor. Might run out of room. Releasing the shoulders. And back. We'll do two more. Good. Okay. And then I forgot to mention, I did all ball work yesterday in class, so I think that's why I forgot, but we do need our ball for a little bit here. The big one. going to do a few presses here. So we'll start with it. Start with the ball so it's just resting on your feet. I'm having a hard time staying. Okay, so that you can feel your whole foot kind of curving with the ball. Okay, and we're in neutral spine. And so for about 10 times, when we press out, keep your foot in that position. So you won't be able to stretch your legs all the way because your feet will come off the ball. So just press to where you can, pull it back, and press, and back. Press, and back. You really feel when you press away, it's quite a stretch on the top of the feet and a contraction in those soleus muscles along the sides. And back. Okay, so we're going to do that same thing with your hips slightly lifted. So we're going to tuck your tailbone a little bit, lift your hips so you're really squeezing your glutes, and we'll stretch and in. We're going to feel hamstrings and glutes. And we just, doesn't have to be lifted much, but we just keep that contraction, not very lifted at all. So Lisa, I know sometimes on the reformer, this will bother your back when we get too high. So all we want is just that glute squeeze and deep squeeze in your lower abdominals. Just like a C curve, that's all we need. And back and in and back to neutral. Okay, then we're going to bring your heels onto the ball. Same thing, but actively press your heels down toward the floor so you can start by already feeling a contraction in the hamstrings and press and back. No lift at all, just pressing down as you lengthen and return. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. I once in a while notice that I've got them all pushed into the floor. Natural that they want to do that. And back. And press. And back. 1, 2, 3. And 2. And 1. Okay. And then we're going to do that same thing again. We're going to tuck that navel in just enough to barely curve the hips. Press and lift. Press and pull. And press and pull. So that space just stays the same, pulling up into the glutes and hamstrings each time. And pull. We just keep this nice pace because we're less likely to cramp if we just keep that muscle moving. 3, we'll do 2 more. 2. Great toning for that, your backside, and right below the backside. Okay, then we're going to come onto your toes, the balls of your feet rather. So this time though, when you press out, we'll be rolling through the foot and you'll come up to heel. So it'll come through and up. But when you come back, really pull in on the balls of your feet so your heels come up so you can get that contraction there in your calves. Flex and pull. Flex. And of course, if your ball gets away from you a little bit, always adjust. And pull. Flex and pull. Flex and pull. And pull. And flex, and pull, flex, and pull. Okay, and again, we're going to go ahead and hip, and flex, and pull, flex, and pull. This one's a little less balanced. Flex, and pull, and flex, and pull, flex, and pull, and flex, and pull, flex, and pull. We'll do two more. Flex, and pull, and down. Last one. Really wide, like we're doing heels wide on the bar. So we're squeezing inward, using pelvic muscles as well as adductors and glutes. And we'll press, oops, a little too close there. Press out and squeeze together as you pull in. And pull. So you get a really nice stretch on these first few. Opening up your hips. And in. And in. And in. Two more. Okay, so now we're going to tip your hips up, press, and pull. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll do 3 more. Bit wide. 8, 9, and 10. And down. Good. So now we're going to let your legs rest on the ball. And so we're right on your calves. So your feet are kind of free. Arms long at your sides. And we're just going to lift you right up into a straight line. And with your legs really close together. So there's a little bit of balance work involved, not a whole lot. And we'll bring your elbows to 90 degrees like this. And so we're just squeezing your glutes actively, pelvic muscles too, just trying to hold the ball still. And we're just going to lift up an arm and then the other. And all we're doing with this, we've already tired out those muscles a little bit, so we're just using them a little bit more, plus the abdominals, just to keep the balance. And then once we've got that, we're just going to do both together and down. And it's not super difficult, but you can feel all those little muscle movements that you do feel are your core muscles contracting, just like they're doing tiny little crunches, working to hold your stability. And lower, lift, and lower. I'm falling right off of mine. And lower, lift, and lower. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. And down. Okay, so we can put the ball aside now. So far, so good? Amy, I can only see you. Okay, good. All right, so then we're just gonna do, before we get to the roller, we're gonna do just alternating plank abs, 2 things, and then we'll move on to roller. So start with the plank here. The first one is just, we're gonna do a plank with leg lifts, and then we'll do a couple abs, and we're gonna do a plank with the arm crosses, and then a couple abs. So with this one, anytime you're on your hands, if you push in with your fingers, it gives your wrists a little bit of a break. So we're gonna be on your toes, tiptoes. hips down. And we'll lift your right leg. Once it's lifted, then we're going to flex your feet so we hinge back, point back to the toes, switch feet. Lift the left, hinge, point, and down. We don't lift that leg really high because we want to make sure that your hips don't get any higher. With time, they might start to drift up. Flex, point, and down. Lift, flex, point, down. We keep those shoulders back. Lift, flex, point, down. Point, down. Flex, point, lift, flex, point, lift, flex, point, lift, flex, lift, flex, lift, flex, lift, flex, lift, flex, lift, flex. Last one. On this side. And lift, down. Knees come down. And we'll come around onto your back. We're going to have your knees bent. Okay, and this one's pretty simple. We're just going to do, let's see, we'll do 20 total, so 10 on each side. We'll have your arms up. They're just regular arm presses, and we'll exhale, and we'll lift for 1. 1 knee comes to tabletop, and down, and 2, and down, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9. If your neck gets tired, you can also do it this way. If you want a little help, a little support. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay? We'll come back into your plank. And this time, for 20, we're going to be crossing the shoulders. So it'll go 1, cross, 2, cross, 3, cross. If you want to do that from your knees, that's okay too. Come out, and we'll cross 1, cross, 2, cross, 3, cross, 4, cross, 5, cross, 6, cross, 7, cross, 8, cross, 9, cross, 10, cross, and down, and around. Okay, and then this set is exactly the same, except we're going to do long legs. We'll have your arms back, and we'll exhale and curl for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. All right, so now we're gonna get a hold of the roller. And we're gonna start with it underneath your feet. So we're gonna do some bridges with it, and this is really handy. We'll try and, so the more challenging, the closer your legs are together, the more challenging. So we want at least hip distance, but if you want to bring them even closer, you can. It's up to you. And we'll start with your arms just on the floor. And the reason it's so nice is that when you go up into a hip bridge, it really tells you, it gives you feedback as far as what your muscles are doing, because we want to be pressing straight down toward the floor. And so that's really good feedback. Like on the reformer, if you find that you're pushing the roller away, then we know that you're using your quadriceps too much. And if we feel like it's pulling in, then we're overusing the hamstrings rather than the glutes. So if we can keep the pressure down rather than forward and back, then this gives you a lot of good feedback with that. So with the arms long, we're just going to exhale and slowly 10 times. We'll lift and lower. And this might feel really easy. Bring your feet closer. If you want to make it more challenging, you can bring your arms up. Lift and lower, and just really focus on that deep squeeze, that wrap right around the spine. You'll feel your glutes squeezing with the legs really close together and squeezing. You feel the lower back muscles a little bit more actively. Squeeze. Two more. And down. Good. And we can stretch out, relax for a minute. Okay, we'll bring them back in. And then we're going to we'll leave your right foot on, and we're going to cross the left foot, the left ankle over the right one, and we're going to try it with one leg. We'll see how it goes. If it's not happy with us, then we can go back to 2 legs for the remainder of the set. Okay, let's try 8. Arms can be down. We'll lift 1, 2, 3, 4. Still trying to keep your hips level. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Cross right over left. The hips level. And exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Stretch it out. We can roll to the side. And we're going to do some planks on here. We're going to do our planks from our elbows. And there's a couple of variations on this too. So the way that we get them, so we get the roller so it's underneath, so it's like right here, your shin. And then when we come up into the plank, you're on your elbow and your legs like this. Okay. So if that is not doable, then you can put your top leg on the roller, bottom leg on the floor, and come to there, and you're still getting this contraction here. Because then what we're going to do is lift. Okay? So you can pick one of those two things. We'll come up. Okay? And then we're going to lower the hips, squeeze and lift. 1 and 2, or you can have your hand up if you want. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we'll go to the other side. Need a softer roller. That's not that easy on the leg bone. Straighten the body out. Okay, come up into here, plank here, and we'll lower and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Okay, and we're going to come around onto your knees. Last thing with the roller, we're going to have it on your knees. Okay, hands out in front. So we're on, equally on all fours. Your hands can be a little bit forward. And like when we're on all fours on the reformer and we pull the belly button up and in, same principle. So we're going to pull it up and in and bring that roller in this way. So the hips are hinging a little bit, but rather than just hinging back and forth, we want to involve your abdominals. So we exhale and try to curve them in like that, and then lengthen. And you'll notice the difference because you will feel your abdominals pulling in rather than just your hips hinging. And pull and back, and we'll do 10 like that. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then after 10, you can put that to the side. And we're going to lay on one side. We'll have your back very straight and your legs forward a little bit. And we'll put both hands behind your head. We're going to practice bringing your elbow back behind you so that you can Feel that lifting in the waist. We're not going to do a whole lot of different exercises with the legs. I want mostly to be able to practice that lifting feeling with your obliques. So with your arms back like this, abdominals pulled in, we're just going to stretch your leg forward, flex your foot, and bring it back. And as you bring it back, feel that nice stretch and really try and lift your waist up off the floor and stretch your chest. And we'll point forward and stretch, flex back and stretch and lift. Point forward and stretch, flex back, stretch and lift. Point forward, flex and stretch. Point forward, flex, stretch and lift. Point forward and lift. And one more. And lift. Okay. And we're going to bring your top leg in front, left leg back. We'll bring this bottom arm up onto your waist, so those same muscles. Top hand right here in front of you. And we're going to exhale and lift using these muscles for 10. Lift. So it's a lateral push-up, and you will feel your triceps, but we mostly want to be focused on the side of the waist there. Okay. When you're ready, we'll go to the other side. Line your body up so this part is nice and straight, and then we're just hinge forward from your hips. And we'll get your elbow under you, and then open as best you can. So then again, you can feel that lifting, and we do that a lot on the reformer anyway, like when we pretend there's a thumbtack underneath this bottom part so that this part stays long. It's that same idea. So we're going to stretch forward, flex back, and lift even more up onto that elbow. Point forward, full flex back. Fell off my hip. Forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. Forward, flex back. Forward and back. Lift. Two more. And lift. Good. Okay, then we'll put your bottom hand under, top hand here, top leg in front, and 10 times. Press lift, down, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. And roll onto your belly. And big stretch. Just the way we started, lengthening as far as you can. And we'll bring your arms around underneath your shoulders. Peel your spine up. I'm going to leave my elbows a little bit bent so that my shoulders don't tight. Keep the spine long. Push back into child's pose from there. We'll come forward onto all fours. Walk forward a little bit. Then we'll tuck your toes underneath. And from there, press back. Shift back into your inverted V. We can walk the feet. Stretching the backs of your legs all the way up into the hip. And we'll walk your hands all the way back towards your feet. Then softening the knees a little bit, we'll tuck your tailbone. And bone by bone by bone. We'll roll all the way up, keeping your arms very heavy. And the head very, very heavy. The very last minute. And then the arms all the way straight up the middle toward the ceiling. And opening out to the side like a breaststroke. Opening your chest. And forward one more time, arms coming straight up. Opening out to the side, opening the chest, lifting the sternum. And back in. And here, I'll lift this a little bit. And we'll bring your arms across your shoulders, stretching your back. And we'll open. And open. And in. And pat yourself on the back. You did very, very well. Happy Saturday. Or I'll let you out of land.
Thanks, Merida.
Thank you. Good job, ladies.
Have a great day.
That's great. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye.